morning, you guys. Today is a big day. I'm excited for this. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. But today is, in my head, the first official day of training for my triathlon. Now, a couple questions right out of the way before people ask. I don't have a date set up yet because in San Diego, a lot of stuff is still closed, and I don't really trust anything that comes out because everything's like, we're gonna be able to do it, and then it gets canceled. So I'm not setting a date for anything right now. Right now, I just wanna do some training to be prepared for if a race does open up, I'm able to do it. But today is the first official day of getting some actual training numbers to start training. So I've been kind of training for the past few days, just kind of listening to my coach, and she's just been giving me random workouts, nothing super crazy. But today we are doing a ramp test, which is a test that we're going to be doing on the bike inside here in the garage, which is basically, it's this test that you do, and then it gives you a number, which is your FTP. And what your FTP stands for is functional threshold power, I believe. And basically it's a number, this is very much so broken down, but it's basically just a number that you can base training off of on the bike. So I'm finally going to have a solid number, a solid thing to train around. So I'm excited. I know that it's supposed to be pretty painful, but I'm definitely looking forward to having some solid numbers. So as far as who is my coach, I'm actually getting coached by Natasha. She is also coaching Nick Bare for his Ironman. She is also herself an Ironman. She has done a few races. She's a professional triathlete, and also she is a BPN athlete as well. So I'm just excited to have someone on board that knows the ins and outs of this type of training, because obviously I've never really done any Ironman or I'm not trying to do an Ironman, any triathlon type training. The triathlon distance that I am trying to do is the Olympic distance triathlon. So for those of you guys that might not know, there's four, I'm sure there's more, but four really popular distances for triathlon. So there is a sprint distance, there is an Olympic distance, there's a half Ironman, and then there's an Ironman. So the distance that I want to do is the Olympic distance triathlon. So what that ends up being is the swim is 1.5K. So it's 0.93 miles, so it's almost a mile swim. And then the bike is 25 miles. And then the run is typically a 10K or 6.2 miles. So that is the triathlon that I want to do. It's nothing like an Ironman. It's much less, but it's still definitely something that is out of my comfort zone, especially the swim. But this is just something that I have been wanting to do for a really long time. So I'm really glad that I was able to take the step forward and hire a coach. And now we are moving forward with training. I'm really excited. I'm excited to share it with you guys. But with that being said, I'm gonna finish this coffee. We're gonna get on the bike, and we're gonna find out our FTP. All right, so we have the bike all set up now. I'm in my spandex. So what we're gonna do is a 15-minute kind of just warm up ride to get the body ready, because Natasha let me know that it gets intense pretty fast on this test. So she was like, make sure that you are warm before you start it. So just gonna do a 15-minute little spin, and then we're gonna get into the actual test. Okay, so warm up is done. All that's left to do now is take off the sweater and see how this goes. Pray for me. Oh, ow. That was hard. Like everyone was saying, it starts off so easy, and then all of a sudden, like the last 2 minutes, you're like, oh my God. Oh, my legs feel like stones. I'll update you guys on the numbers and everything. All right, so we're at the office now. So I talked to Natasha, my coach, and so it is official that my new FTP number is 280. So basically, that number is going to help us track progress. It is going to help us make workouts, and that is my baseline number now, which is surprising. It's a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be, if I'm being completely honest. I've had it tracked twice since I started cycling. First time I think it was like 220, and the second time it was like 250. So I wasn't sure if it would go up much, but she was like, yeah, I mean it's pretty accurate. So I mean, that's exciting. I'm very happy about that, but all that means is the workouts are going to be harder now. So that's good, I guess. But so now I'm at the office. I need to do a lot of work here today. So I will check in with you guys after that is done. Real quick, I just wanted to say huge thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring today's video. So for me personally, I've always been a fan of cereal. It's delicious. I grew up all the time eating it for breakfast. I mean, honestly, it was like my main breakfast most of the time growing up. So what's really cool about Magic Spoon is that it's basically cereal for grown-ups. So there's 0 grams of sugar, you have 3 grams of net carbs, and there is 11 grams of protein in this thing. So they have 4 flavors. They have cocoa, fruity, frosted, blueberry. Personally, my favorite is, as you guys can see, the cocoa flavor. It's very good. So it says here right on the box, it is the high protein, keto friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious, childlike cereal for grown-ups. So again, huge thank you to Magic Spoon. So for those of you guys watching, if you do want to get $5 off a variety pack, you can go to www.magicspoon.com/beast and use code BEAST for $5 off that variety pack. So again, huge thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring the video. Let's get back into it. All right, so I am sorry for the quick change. I have literally been I have been so busy today. When I was at the office, I was literally just like working the whole time. So I had to leave the office real quick. I'm here. I'm now getting ready for a run. The run today is super short, so it's only 20 minutes, and it's at a really low heart rate. So that's what a lot of my runs have been. Pretty much all of my runs have been since starting the training, has been really low heart rate. So basically what that means is very slow miles. So today is just 20 minutes, basically to help, get the legs moving after that really hard ride this morning. But I need to hurry up. The reason I'm talking so fast is because the sun is about to go down and I have 20 minutes before that happens. So I need to get this run done. So 20 minutes, and I'll see you guys afterwards. All right, so it is the next day, and I kind of wanted to come on here and just explain a little bit about, why I'm doing the triathlon, why it's a big deal to me, and yeah, just kind of explain myself a little bit. So for those of you guys that might not be familiar, with my whole journey, so when I was, 20 years old, I was almost 400 pounds, and then I ended up losing a lot of weight, and in 2016, I believe it was, I ended up doing a men's physique show. I got super lean for that, and that was a lot of work, and that was a huge deal for me, and I was like, man, I'm really, this is something that I'm really proud of. And then after I did the physique show is when I found CrossFit style training, and so I did CrossFit for a few years, and then in 2019, I was kind of on a whim, I ended up doing a marathon. I didn't do super well, don't worry. It was very bad, it took me 5.5 hours. But I was able to do it, right? And that was a bucket list thing that I definitely had for a while. And after I did the marathon, I had a lot of people kind of ask me, what do you want to do next? And I remember at first I was like, I don't have any plans. I don't think I want to do another marathon for a while. But I knew that there was something that I wanted to do. I just didn't know what that would be. And then not long after that is when I found out about triathlon training. My first like kind of dip into it was actually watching Nick Bear's, his first series where he chronicled his first Ironman journey. And I remember thinking like, man, that's like way further than I think I could do right now. But I just remember thinking like it was really inspirational. And so last year, 2020, I signed up for a triathlon and I was like going to start doing it. And then sadly, everything happened with COVID and everything was closed down. And so since then, I've kind of just been training on and off. I've been running a little bit. I had the injury, so I had to recover from the injury. And then when I was injured, like I really couldn't run much. And then when it was really bad, I couldn't even bike because of like hunched over position was bad for my back. And so I was able to finally heal from that. And then I've been like wanting to train for it, but then I finally like seeing Nick and his coach, who is also my coach now, I just remember thinking like, man, I think it would be a really good idea for me to get a coach. And then so I reached out to Natasha, who is also a BPN athlete, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in coaching me? Which is, I feel a little weird because I feel like probably most people she coaches are like really high level triathletes that are like doing Ironman or half Ironman or like really beasts, and I'm just like, I just want to do an Olympic distance and like I don't know how well I'll do. But she was super gracious and she is, she's coaching me, and so like taking that step has been a huge thing for me. And so I'm really excited for this journey. I don't have any plans on, what race we're going to do. I'm still waiting for things to really open up before I commit to anything. But the fact that I am like, it just feels good to have something to be focused on, It feels good to have something that I'm like, I'm training for a thing. I'm not just training to train, there's nothing wrong with that either. But for me, it's definitely always really nice to have something to train for as well, right? And so that's what we're doing now. So I appreciate you guys that are into watching me train for the triathlon. I appreciate that you guys want to watch the vlogs. It really does mean a lot to me. I do want to make this like a series, kind of chronicling as much as I can. So yeah, that's kind of, I wanted to put a video out in a place where I explained everything and why I'm doing this. I just want to challenge myself and do something that I never thought I could do, really, is the basis of it. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am. Ugh.